It's time for a full moon. Second semester just started, and there's already another full moon. I wonder what kind of shadow will appear this time. You count on me. I will. We all rely on you, actually. I can only provide support behind the scenes, but I'll do my best so all of you can fight with confidence. I also realized way too late into my grinding that I can use her Theurgy to regain SP while grinding if my SP is super low. That's it for today. There'll be full moon tonight. Powerful shadow will appear. I should return to the dorm and prepare myself. Also, for whatever reason, the last several streams that I've done, like just in general, not of this game specifically, Twitch has been bugging out. And so the last stream of this, the last 2 streams of Echoes of Wisdom, and the first stream that I did of Final Fantasy 16, because I started that recently, it seems like Twitch didn't record the metadata properly, because when I went to go cut these up into parts using the Twitch highlighter tool, cliffhanger there, using the Twitch highlighter tool that I usually do to specify, have this part start here and end here, it wouldn't work. Like, it would always be off by about like 7 to 8 seconds. So if I did a highlight where I said, start this part during this loading screen or this transition screen, it would really start the part after it made it into a highlight about a sentence and a half into the segment rather than where I specified it, and it was just completely off. Like, I think that Twitch recorded the metadata incorrectly or something like that during that time span. For whatever reason, it did not do that for the first stream of Echoes of Wisdom. So I did the last stream of this, then the first stream of Echoes of Wisdom, then streams 2 and 3 for that, and then Final Fantasy 16. And all of those streams are broken except for stream 1 of Echoes of Wisdom for some reason. So I needed to download all those streams, which is, I wasn't paying attention to how big the data size was with all of them, but I know the last Persona 3 stream, which is part 87 to 103, is a 23 gigabyte video on my computer that I needed to individually render each of the individual parts. And I'm currently working on the Echoes of Wisdom one. I've gotten to whatever part this is here, but I just wanted to throw that out there, and I just remembered because I just figured, hey, that's a good time to end a part and start another. Because this is what I've had to do. I'm marking what each of the parts are, so I know when I'm rendering them, and just rendering them each individually. So now I know Echoes of Wisdom is going to be a 40-part series. But normally I don't have to do this, but I had to do this for the last stream, and it was kind of painful and awful when I'd rather just use the highlighter tool. We have the highlights. Curious, did it keep on-screen celebration thing in the video? You know, I forgot to check. I put a highlight so that I wouldn't forget, but I don't know which highlight it is. Also, Guzma now coming in with a 45-month resub. I greatly appreciate the 45 months of subbage, Guzma. Welcome back to Team Harmonic. Enjoy another month of the emotes and the sub badge and all that fun stuff. What's up? Not much. My truck is doing better. I'm going to go pick it up tomorrow, but it still should not be driven home. And I'm going to request them to remove the transmission, which is going to guarantee that it can't be driven home because they'd be able to remove the transmission a lot better than I can. So things are going a little bit better here because it sounds like some parts on my truck are working better. They are able to do some work, but I've still got my work cut out for me this winter to turn it into a much safer vehicle that doesn't run any risk of stranding me on the road. Because even if I didn't request for them to remove the transmission tomorrow morning, it's only a matter of time before it, like, strands me, and like, it seems like it's probably a miracle that it hasn't yet. So yeah. Surely you didn't accidentally make the highlight a new episode? What you mean? Make the highlight a new episode? Yeah, it's still kind of sucky, but it is going better than before, because one of the problem parts might be sorted now. But yeah, I've still got my work cut out for me. But because I have to go pick it up tomorrow, maybe I'll stream tonight, so here I am. So I'm making some progress on this game.
Check again. Nah, on second thought, I better stay put. The operation's tonight.
And honestly, after starting Final Fantasy 16 and having a lot of fun with it, that's what I probably would have had the most fun streaming tonight.
Fighting to protect her too. Wow. Thinking about it like that kind of
What a simp.
Maybe we really are like heroes of justice.
Like, I was honestly really into that first stream of Final Fantasy 16, so I would have had the most fun streaming that tonight. But I just got done with a major grind session in this, so it's like, alright, it's time to play this. Oh, he just got mugged. So it's about time to play this. And now with, like, there's been a lot of truck stuff and life stuff going on lately, which means I have updates to share in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Tonight marks the 6th full moon.
So I'll probably do that in the next couple days here as well.
Yeah.
So I have reason to stream both my on and off
It's near
games
Colonial
of AC
Mall.
Odyssey and 3 Reload.
For some reason,
So I'm doing this tonight and probably AC Odyssey tomorrow.
I'm trying to narrow it down, though.
Is that part of its power?
Sorry, I'm not really sure about that either.
We have enough to go on.
Amada, did you find him?
No, I can't find Junpei-san anywhere. His backpack isn't here, so I don't think he's been home yet.
No, he's pivotal to my party!
What's he doing? He knows tonight's a full moon.
I'm not picking up a signal anywhere near the dorm either. Should I take more time to look for him, just in case?
No, it's okay. You're young. Sometimes you just get in one of those moods. For now, though, we need to focus our attention on the shadow.
This guy abducted him. Or something, imagine.
We can't afford to waste any more time. We need to get moving.
Let's go. Hold up. Did Junpei say anything about this?
Not that I remember.
All right then.
Any luck?
Oh, is the fountain red?
Sense of faint presence.
There's blood everywhere.
Seems so
Spooky.
close, but
Just in time for Spooky Month, now that it's October 2nd.
All
I
right,
forgot. Happy
let's split
Spooky
up
Month,
this
everyone.
fight. There's no time to lose, so let's hurry.
Maybe I should do a Halloween game.
Wait.
But I'll probably just do that on Halloween like I usually do.
I can do it. This is what I'm here for.
I don't think I'll do a game throughout Spooky Month. I mean, I could, maybe. I don't know.
Feel the movement of the earth through your fingertips. Hear the answer of the wind flow through your hair. Taste the knowledge of the water on your lips. Tell me, Lucia, what shrouds me from the truth?
Hey, is she okay?
Don't break her concentration.
This is some kind of web beneath us?
Are we gonna fight Goma like I just did in Echoes of
A
Wisdom this
web.
past weekend?
Perhaps it's related to the old power cables underground. Back when the island was still being developed, this is where the main power station was located.
Underground cables?
Yes, a large number of power cables remain underground in a sprawling network, much like a web.
So that's what's interfering with her ability?
Thank you, I guess. I figured it out now. It's not that the cables are interfering. The cables themselves have been possessed by the shadow.
They what? So, everything under our feet is part of the shadow.
No wonder you couldn't pinpoint it. It's covering this entire area.
How are we supposed to beat something like that?
Start digging.
Hiding underground, huh?
Ow!
I can't believe how easy it was to sneak up on you. Is the rest of your team this oblivious?
Damn it! I can't fight back like this! This isn't funny, Chidori.
I want you to do something for me. I have orders for you to pass along to your team. You can at least communicate with them, can't you?
My team? Orders?
Do as I say, and you won't be harmed. All you have to do is call off your operation. Easy, right? And not just the one tonight. All of them.
You want me to cancel the operation? No way. You're not one of them, are you?
Quit wasting time.
So the shadow controls a whole underground network? This is a problem. We have no means of attack.
Your notes from previous battles mentioned a shadow that was able to take control of the monorail. I'm guessing this shadow must have its own body, Just like that one. Let me see if I can pinpoint it. Fuka.
Even if we know where it is, we still have to get to it.
If it's abandoned, there may still be a way to enter the facility where the cables converge.
We'll see.
I found it. It's here, in the mall.
In here?
It's inside a small chamber underground. It's rectangular, so I assume it's man-made.
Is it some sort of basement?
Wait a minute. I overheard the manager of Escapade a while back. He was saying the power supply's been acting up lately. There was a big outage because of it that forced him to cancel some important event.
An outage?
Yeah. Mentioned they remodeled the basement into a control room a while ago. Maybe we should take a look.
That's gotta be it.
Good job, Yamagishi. All right, as soon as we're ready, we'll make our move.
Okay, I can play now. But yeah, there was a lot more things in chat that didn't come up. I guess I can go around and talk to everybody. But yeah, so there's currently the 3 stream games right now of 3 Reload, Odyssey, and well, Persona 3 Reload, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Final Fantasy 16 that I just started this past weekend. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom came out on Thursday, and I beat it in the opening weekend, and I really did not like it. So that's done now, and that's why I started Final Fantasy 16. Because with this game, I figure I'll only stream it after I'm done with, like, long grinds that I had the time for. Assuming I ended a stream in Tartarus. If I ended a stream, like, here, then there's no point. I can just stream it again immediately. But if I end streams in Tartarus, then I'll take a little bit and then take time to, like, grind stuff. Hello, Akari. How are things going today? Things are going pretty alright here. And for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Assassin's Creed is my longest ongoing series on the channel, like, at all. I believe I started with Assassin's Creed 1, like, at the beginning of 2020. So, at this point, Assassin's Creed has been a lot of this channel's history, and a lot of my life at this point. It has gone through a lot of different things. So sometimes I like to talk about current life stuff going on as I'm going through series, because it's basically like the closest thing that I have to a journal, and that like maybe one day I'll be able to look back on like a certain series and be like, whoa, wow, that's what was going on at that point, and hear myself talk about it like in the context of the present, and just be like a really cool record of that kind of thing, since I like to archive all my stuff. So I figure because Assassin's Creed is like the series that's been ongoing the longest on the channel, and regularly, with me always doing like a new Assassin's Creed playthrough at least once a year, I like to talk about life stuff going on during that. And because Assassin's Creed Odyssey has taken me so dang long, because the game just takes forever to get through everything because there's so much content, I realized that there isn't going to be enough time to start the next Assassin's Creed playthrough before the end of the year, because I always start the next Assassin's Creed playthrough January 1st of each year. So sometimes I have time to get like through multiple Assassin's Creed games a year, and then just start whatever the next one is on January 1st. Yeah, I'm not going through Valhalla start to finish in what's happening like this year anyway. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla is gonna have to start like January 1st of next year. So all I have to do is get through another episode and a half of Assassin's Creed Odyssey DLC, then do one more individual DLC mission, and then like another 2-hour DLC mission that released after Valhalla released, interestingly enough, that I might just do at HoloLand. So really, I'm not in a major rush. I basically just have to get through the rest of the current DLC before the 3rd weekend of November, if I want to do that final DLC for HoloLand or something there. So I'm really not in a rush, so I figure, hey, because I'm not in a rush, why don't I just purposefully space it out so that whenever I stream it, I have, like, more cool life updates to share. And then towards the end of the series, it encompasses, like, more significant life stuff anyway, if it's already gonna take me this long anyway. Like, there's no real point rushing through if I'm not starting the next game until January 1st of next year anyway, so I have lots of time. So I figure, hey, let's just spread it out for when I have, like, more updates and stuff to share. So, yeah. That's why Assassin's Creed Odyssey is being spread out. But I do have a bunch of updates to share now, so I'll probably do AC Odyssey next stream, probably tomorrow, because I'll probably have time tomorrow. And if there's, like, big amounts of time that I can ramble about stuff during this game, I'll do so during this game too, but, like, there usually isn't, because this is one of those games where, like, right now, I basically have to pause what I'm doing. So, like I've said before, I don't know how good of a stream game Persona is. So you're gonna rewatch Skull and Bones a lot, right? No, that one is not gonna be one. There are definitely some series of mine that I'll definitely rewatch years down the line. Skull and Bones is not gonna be one of them. And my truck is not doing great. So, I guess that's something I can ramble about really briefly. Or where Junpei-san went. Let me think about it. The really quick Spark Notes version rather than the in-depth version is I've been having trouble with it for a little while. I've always had trouble shifting gears with the clutch, and it works not super great. So I figured, hey, should probably just take this in and get it looked at by professionals. So I took it into the shop where it got inspected and had some minor work done on it last year. And it died like 6 or 7 times on the way there. Like, it has been getting really weird issues lately, and it would always start up immediately again, except for one time that my dad had to pull start me with his truck, which luckily worked. And we got it to the shop. Thankfully, it was really, really sketchy about whether it would make it there or not. I appreciate the 100 bits there.
Sly 4 mention money for Sly 4 playthrough.
Oh god, no. So we got it there, despite it being really, really sketchy and seeming like it wouldn't make the trip. And so that was 2 days ago that got in there. And now the past couple of days I've been getting a lot of calls about the status. Apparently it's just the transmission fluid is about as black as it can get. It's leaking into other areas. The whole clutch assembly is like completely rusted and corroded and like filled with transmission fluid and just awful. And it sounds like it's only a matter of time before it gives out on me completely while I'm driving. And the carburetor still doesn't work, great. So, and that's the thing that I've been fighting for the past year, trying to get working. When a company owed me a working carburetor, here, I said I was gonna go through this quickly. Let's go through it like super quickly here. Last year, my truck broke down because my carburetor, which is the part that injects fuel into the engine, cracked. So it was leaking fuel through the crack and was therefore a fire hazard, and I couldn't drive it anymore. And I started to try to repair the carburetor. I spent $400 getting other carburetor parts, trying to Frankenstein it together and have it still leak, and then getting a professional mechanic to try and rebuild it, and it still didn't work. It still leaked because the parts were warped. So then I bit the bullet and spent an arm and a leg spending $1,300 getting a fancy schmancy rebuilt carburetor imported from the States. I got that, figured it would just be plug and play. I put it in and it started leaking fuel. So I said that to the company, and they were like, all right, we'll send you another one. Give us your name and address again. I was like, okay, here you go. And they were like, all right, we'll send out a second one. And in the meantime, I tried to do some work on that first one to see if I could get it to work, because I figured maybe it was just like a small issue, and I identified some issues and I fixed them, and I thought I fixed the leak and it was working for a while, but it's been getting progressively worse and worse to the point that like I'm dying sometimes in the middle of the road because I think the engine is running out of fuel. Like, it sounds like it's running out of gas and it dies. Because the carburetor isn't feeding fuel through properly. And I did follow up with that company being like, hey, I never got the second carburetor you supposedly sent. And they were like, that's weird because we did send it. All right, we'll send a third. That was at the end of August, and I've heard nothing about it. I've been trying to get in contact with them again lately. Like, I never got a tracking number or anything. I've been trying to get in contact with them being like, hey, can you either get me a working carburetor or give me my money back? Because $1,300 is a significant amount of dollaroos. And they haven't responded to my calls or emails yet in the past couple days, so that's fun there. Bopar Pro, by the way, is the name of the company. And the shop that was working on it was like, we can try to rebuild the carburetor and see if it works, because when the shop had a look at it, they said it's leaking out of everywhere that it can leak. And it's like, oh, that's such a bad thing to hear. And I wasn't sure if I wanted the shop to work on it, because that would probably cost a little bit of an arm and a leg. And this company owes me a working carburetor anyway. I should be getting one from them. But, like, I've been fighting with them for so long that, like, I don't know if it's worth following up about that. So I just told the shop, like, sure, give it a go. See if you can fix it. Just on the off chance that maybe it works and maybe I can put this problem that I've been dealing with for over a year now behind me. And they called me earlier today and they were like, yeah, the carburetor actually works pretty good now. The air filter might not be getting enough air through properly, but the carburetor itself is running great. Now the engine's running great. So apparently the truck runs beautifully now. But considering the clutch is all corroded and filled with transmission fluid and just a bit of a mess. It's kind of like, it's just waiting to get me stranded somewhere. Like, one day it's gonna fall apart mid-drive, and then I won't be able to shift gears, and I'll be stuck and need to be towed anyway. So it's like, yeah, that's not great. So I'm not driving it home. I'm gonna get it towed home, and I'm gonna ask them to remove the transmission, because they can probably do it a lot easier by lifting up the truck and getting at there underneath, and probably only do it in like an hour and a half, whereas it would probably take me and my dad like half a day to a full day fighting it to get that thing out of there, knowing us. So I'm just gonna ask them to remove the transmission, which is going to like fully decommission it for now. It won't be usable. And then I'll tow it home, and then I'll just spend this whole winter working on the clutch and the transmission. And that's what's going on with my truck, and that's why I have time to stream tonight, because I'm not going into work tomorrow, because I'm dealing with that tomorrow. So that'll be fun. And I really, really hope that the towing company is willing to put it into my cousin's garage that's up a slope, and that has a trailer in the way, so you need to like really carefully maneuver it in there. You can just barely get it past the trailer. Because some towing companies will be like, oh no, it's a liability issue. We can't get it in there just in case something bad happens. Which means there's a chance I might need to rally a squad to push my broken down truck up a slope into this garage. So, yeah, I don't know who all I'm gonna ask for that, but I'll figure it out. Like, I have a decent bit of pushing strength myself. I'm sure that me with like 1 or 2 other people could probably get it done. Because there's a good chance we might need to be pushing it tomorrow. So, yeah. So, the engine's working great. But it's a bit of a disaster. So, I was hoping that I'd be able to use my truck a lot more this year. It was very on and off with all, like, the sketchy issues. And it's been a little bit scary. So yeah, that truck's not going to be driven anymore for quite a while. Is pretty kaput. Is the case, and has apparently been pretty kaput for a while, and I didn't realize it. Oh, this is about who to put into the squad? Is what this is? Hold on. Let's see here. Everybody out. Wait a second. In the order that I like. Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, like that. So, yeah. So, it's definitely gonna take some patience. It sounds like my dad might have a friend's dad that apparently has experience with rebuilding transmissions. So, if we get the shop to take out the transmission, just put it in the box, it sounds like my dad might be able to give my transmission to his friend's dad, and, then his dad can just spend, like, the whole winter rebuilding it, potentially. And, that's odd. Here, let's see here. Okay, I guess I don't have to check. It's fine for John Wildcat. And source the right parts. I'm gonna have to get the transmission and the right parts to rebuild it. And then maybe he'll be able to rebuild it. My dad and I can work on the clutch. And we'll need to remove the fuel tank and get it steam cleaned, because apparently the fuel's pretty gunky, which is something that I already suspected. And, yeah, the shop was like, the fuel's looking kind of dirty. There's probably a bunch of gunk in the fuel tank from, like, old fuel that's, like, built up along the inside. So it'll probably be good to clean that tank. And I already planned to do that last year, but then I filled up a full tank, thinking that, oh, and Guzma just sent me an image of the thing being black. Probably refresh it, most likely, if you can still hear me. I was gonna take off the fuel tank last year to steam clean it over the winter, but I filled up on what I thought was the last full tank of the year, and then parked it in the garage, and then the garage started smelling like fuel, and that's how I found out my carburetor is broken. So now it's like, oh yeah, now it's gonna be a little bit hard to take off the fuel tank when it's full. So, yeah, that didn't end up happening last year, but this year, should be able to remove the fuel tank. Get the fuel tank cleaned, sort out the air filter if there's problems there, sort out any last kinks with the carburetor, completely rebuild the clutch assembly, completely rebuild the transmission. I think those are the big things right now. Fix the speedometer. The speedometer doesn't work. Yeah, those are the big things right now. So, what do you want me to do? Do I need to talk to someone? That seems weird. Let me think about it. Wait. Oh, because I have to go here?